right. Welcome back to TEW Impact. As you can probably see, this um probably will not be a full episode. I don't plan on doing a show right now because between the big news we got before Sacrifice, which if you watch Sacrifice, I did not reveal it. I wanted to wait till reveal it till the next episode, but I'm not going to do uh, an impact episode right now because, in addition to that bit of news, we had some pretty big news happen after Sacrifice. So I'm just going to take this moment, take this episode, have like a mini episode of sorts to just do the news. Um, as you can see, I'm doing it in PowerPoint form because I don't know how to edit so or properly make movies. So I might do something like this going from now on because my current format of just talking about the news over a still image before the impact results could probably get boring, especially the more news there is. So this could probably be a way to make it more visual, and also, I think I might actually start um going over the before the impact results, considering I'm starting to actually book matches and angles through them now. It won't be as detailed as impact. It'll probably just be simple match results and really brief go run through of any backstage angles. So um it would probably just be like something like this for the news, and then like a couple minutes for before the impact, and then impact as normal. So, but as for the news, we have a lot to go through. Um, so let's start with the numbers. Our impact numbers. Um, Before the impact was 0.01 as usual. Impact rating was 0.23. I did not look if that was an improvement or not, but I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure we've been getting 0.23s the last couple weeks. If not, if we did do any change, it was probably a point of a point, a fraction of a point. Um, Probably 0.01 up, give or take. Attendance is 417, down from 427. That is due to us losing that regional battle again for the second month in a row. We are hitting a 10% drop in attendance every month. We were doing about 50 for 500 at the beginning of the game. Now we're down to 417. So we need to get those up, and we need bigger stars to do that with. As for Sacrifice, the overall show rating was a 33, which was an improvement from No Surrender by 1 point. PPV by pay-per-view buy rate was 0.44, which was the same for No Surrender. I think we had all of the same pay-per-view providers as before, so there's no change from that. Attendance was 1,500 in a generic arena, which is how I book all my shows. Probably so I can get the most possible attendance, but again, that was down because of our um regional battle penalty. That was down from 1,800 for No Surrender. So I believe the next slide is our big news that I alluded to before Sacrifice, and that was, oh no, actually, never mind that. I did a list of the morale issues that we have going, and I think after that is the big pre-sacrifice news. But as far as everyone that has morale issues, Jonah is back to normal. Well, and again, all these morale issues were from badly booked healer face turns. So Jonah, his face turn, he is back to normal morale. Sam Beal is irritated, which I think is the step below normal. And then the step below that is Hernandez, Tzatziki Dice, and Brandy Lauren are all annoyed. Like I mentioned before, Sacrifice, there was a wrestler's court incident for Hernandez that had a positive effect, and then we also had a open forum and then the that open forum gave small morale boosts to everyone above, but did not change their overall status. And then as far as post sacrifice, the heel turns for Chelsea Green and Black Taurus have behaved the same way as everyone else on this list, so they are now annoyed, and that is where we stand for morale. I think overall, I haven't looked, but we've been hovering around 80% morale. So I don't think that's changed even with these additions. But regardless, we should get everyone back on the same page. But now, the big news that we got before Sacrifice is that Taya Valkyrie, who we just signed, has announced her retirement. Um, as you know, if you watch Sacrifice, she is the number one contender to the Knockouts title after winning the pre-show battle royal. Um, we put her immediately in a top position. We kind of have her as like the first big return to Impact after she left for WWE and came back. So we put her right in title contention between Rosemary and Deanna Prazzo. So um kind of worked out because I did not really have a definitive end for that yet, but now this kind of forces me to. But as far as her retirement, like most of them, whenever they get announced, it is will take effect in 3 months' time. So it was announced on March week 1. So we have until June week 1, which I think is before Slammiversary. So we can't really send her off. It would be nice to have a big send off at Slammiversary, but that probably won't happen. And then also in an odd bit of news, her body type also changed. When she announced her retirement, there's also a status that her body type, has changed from average to skinny. So I don't know what the body types are offhand, and I'm not sure if I would consider Taya average. I might have her like consider her muscular or something. A little above average, I guess. But regardless, she is now skinny, which I really can't imagine. I would probably have to go back and think of her like pre-fame Canada days to get a mental image of what that would look like or what that would be like. But um she's unfortunately not like the strong um type that she has been. So I don't know how that'll affect her in-ring performance. Hopefully it won't. But yeah, just some kind of odd news. I think we got this news either well, since Sacrifice is Thursday, we would have gotten this Friday or Saturday, the day of Sacrifice. I think it might have happened Friday, but yeah, it's like, yep, she's retiring and she's skinny now. So I don't know. So yeah, stay tuned for how I handle that. Um, because right now I don't know how that's gonna work. And then for something else, our big post-sacrifice news. I can't remember what day we got this. It would have had to have been sacrifice was on Saturday. So this would have had to have been before Tuesday because Scott Demore became the new booker of NXT. As you might remember, a couple episodes ago, well, for like the past month or so, pretty much anyone with any sort of power or status in NXT or in the Performance Center or whatever was called up to the main roster. Um, So that left I think it was once Road Dogg was called up to the main roster. That left a Booker void, and I even got a notice saying, "Oh, hey, the Booker spot's open." Um, and for about a week or two, no one filled that until after Sacrifice, Scott Demore did. So, signed a handshake deal with NXT, which is weird because he is still on a handshake deal with us. Um, so I so technically he's still employed with us. I did not do anything with his contract yet. I don't know how that's going to work. He is set as both a road agent for Impact and NXT. I think he can still be an on-screen talent. With those settings, I thought you had to be set as like a personality at the very least, or some sort of um either wrestler or manager to have an on-screen role. But I think you can still have an on-screen role as a road agent because I know at the very least Gail Kim is only set as a road agent for us, and she is an authority figure. But regardless, his future with us is in doubt. His future as an on-screen talent is in doubt. He did not show up on screen as NXT so far. He is just their booker. I did not get a screen cap of the last episode of NXT, but that I think it was either Monday or Tuesday. Well, it would have had to have been either Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday for him to sign to NXT and then book NXT. Um, but yeah, I did go back and see that he did not appear on screen, so he's just booking for them as far as we know. But he's also working for us, so uh I know it's the forbidden door and all but did not really expect uh that to factor in any of the WWE brands, even NXT. So, I don't know. I'm on the fence of just relieving his contract because I kind of feel like in the real world this would be sort of conflict of interest. Um, but then I don't know what that would do with our authorities. I kind of like the idea of having an authority angle or authority figure per division. Um, but right now that just leaves Gail Kim for the women and, Homicide for the X division. And he's not really, I wouldn't even really consider him an authority figure. He's more of an enforcer. But I don't know if I would want Gail Kim to be the real, true, like the one authority figure for Impact. I do have future plans for her as such, but I don't know if we should bring in someone else, someone new, or whatever. Like I said, that'll just happen, I guess. So, but yeah, Scott Demore is booking NXT now. Um, as far as his future with Impact, I do not know yet. It came as kind of a shock, and I did not really do anything with his contract, but we shall see. Like I said, I might just release him and he can just stay over in NXT, but who knows? It would be weird to use him now. So yeah, those are the big news updates regarding us. There's quite a bit of news actually for the rest of the world, so I'll just go into that. Oh, again, again, I forgot. Roster and staff changes. Like I mentioned, Eric Stevens, we did sign as a road agent before Sacrifice. I alluded that we are signing more. And that came after Sacrifice. Former Knockout Nikki Rocks is now a road agent. She accepted the contract offer after Sacrifice. So she is on our road agent roster now. Like I said, I kind of wanted to spread the duties out a bit more. Um, I will probably bring in at least maybe a couple more to do so. so I don't have like one person booking like half the show or road agenting half the show. So, which kind of happens. I kind of cycle out the same three or four, kind of like how I mentioned at Sacrifice. I won't get into it now, but yeah, more road agents. Hopefully, they will work out for us. As per the results of Sacrifice, Moose is no longer employed with us. We have terminated his contract. It did not cost us anything. Um, so yeah, the steps are legit. That was pretty much my excuse to get rid of Moose, but in the meantime, uh, still use him because, for better or for worse, he is one of, or was now, one of our biggest stars. So yeah, I know the big complaint with the booking is that there needs to be more names and we need to get bigger names. Um, so yeah, and Moose was one of those, but he's gone. Uh, but we have also extended some of our contracts. Deanna Prato, who's our knockout champion, and Mike Bailey, have agreed to extensions. We have given them both 1 year written contracts, whereas before I think they were on handshake agreements. I know definitely Mike Bailey was because I think I had to actually. I don't know if I did that at the beginning of the game or if it was done for me, but I know he was on a handshake. Oh, sorry. Let's go back. Not ready for that yet. But Dion Prazzo, I think, might have been on a handshake. She might have been on a written, but regardless, they're both with Impact for at least the next year, barring, anything major. They are still they are not exclusive written contracts. They are just written contracts. They like Deanna and I believe Mike Bailey are working elsewhere in other companies. So as far as the rest of the world, more NXT news that Forbidden Door just keeps opening wider because Samoa Joe was able to agree to a handshake deal with PWG. He was on a handshake deal with NXT, not an exclusive one, which I was kind of surprised that he wasn't. Um, for the record, Joe is the NXT champion and the 24/7 champion. Um, NXT does have an agreement, like I mentioned, with their big shakeup that oh, well, that doesn't really apply. I was gonna mention that I NXT or WWE roster members can't go to NXT. I kind of got that backwards. I was thinking Joe couldn't go up to the main roster, but I think he can, especially since he's 24/7 champion. But now he can go to PWG for the hell of it, apparently. So, you know, Samoa Joe's the NXT's main number one guy can work PWG and their booker works for us too. So, what the hell? Um and then also Harland extended his deal with an exclusive written contract, unlike real life. New Japan news, Yoshihashi extended his deal with an exclusive written contract, but then days later also got a divorce from Ayumi Kirihara. So, good news, bad news for him. AAA news that does involve us, our or our roster members. Laredo Kid was the World Cruiserweight Champion for AAA. He was defeated by Joe Leader. I think that's how you say his name, Joe Leader or Lighter. But yeah, he lost the belt. I'm pretty sure that took place before Sacrifice. Um, more title news in the rest of the world. El Lindaman defeated Shinya Aoki to win the Extreme Division title in DDT. Um, more news that involves us. For Ace Austin, at least. I was not aware he was the AAW Heritage Champion, but since I did not book him at Sacrifice, he was free to defend that title the same night as Sacrifice for AAW, and he lost it to Colt Cabana. Defy Keith Lee defeated Randy Myers to win their world title, and Arya Daivari, excuse me, my throat's starting to get sore. Arya Daivari joined on a handshake deal for them, and then I think this is the last one. NWA, um, Mickey James formed a tag team with Taryn Terrell, and then on this was the same night as Sacrifice because I did not book Mickey James, and they defeated Allison Kay and Melina at a I don't think they had a pay-per-view, but it was a big, one of their big monthly events. And then a few days later, on an episode of Power, they also defeated Allysin Kay and Marty Bell to win the NWA World Tag Team titles. So good for her. I don't really have any future plans for Mickey James. I don't plan on using her in the very near future, so at least this gives her something to do. Keeps her in the spotlight. Um, Kind of weird that despite Nick Aldis having left NWA, Mickey James is still working for them and is now one of their champions. Um, but at least they're both on our roster, but again, like I said, I don't have any immediate plans for Mickey James or Nick Aldis. So, yeah, like I said, this at least gives her something to do. And then miscellaneous news, I did not really know where to put this, but Killer Kelly has announced her return to the wrestling business. I know in real life she has already announced her return like months ago. But apparently she was away from the wrestling business in this save data and has just announced her return. Do not be surprised if she shows up for us. I have not extended any offers yet, but I'm definitely interested in bringing her in. We could definitely use some more names for our knockouts roster. So yeah. I think maybe one more, or is this it? Retirements. This is the last one. So, like I kind of go over every week or notable retirement news, we've already gone over the announcement of Ty Valkyrie, but for the week, Greg Valentine, I don't know how he's not already retired, but Great Valentine and Greg Khali, no, Greg Valentine and the Great Khali, Jake Manning, Mammoth Sasaki, Super Callow, and Cat Power have all announced their retirements. Like I said, Taya's is in 3 months. I'm pretty sure a lot of these are 3 monthers. Um, Again, I did not keep track, but officially having retired this week was Dawn Marie from ECW. So she is now retired. So as you can see, that was a lot of news for us. I did not want to uh tack that onto just a beginning of an episode. I don't want to look to see how long this episode is because that'll just throw up you OBS and look like crap to you. But yeah, that was the news. Like I said, I will probably be taking a smallish break from new videos. Um, Especially with that Scott Demore news. I kind of have at least most of the next episode of Impact planned, but I do have to redo some of those plans because if I he is a the main authority figure of Impact, or at least was. So yeah, I'll have to figure out how to book around that. If we decide to keep him or not. Um, yeah. So yeah, for those of you who still watch, thanks. For those of you who watch Sacrifice, thanks. And if anyone out there, actually, just to throw this out there before I go, if there, at least to kind of spark some participation, if there's any videos you kind of want me to do, like mini videos like this, regarding information like elsewhere in the game. Give me ideas. I could use them. I kind of still want to do a video of like failed booking plans that um like I originally wanted to do but fell through. But again, some of those could probably still happen, so I don't really want to do that yet. But again, I am taking a break from, you know, booking, big shows, I guess. So that could be a video, a Q&A video if anyone has any questions, if anyone wants to be like, oh, where's this person at in, what's this person doing in the game, like who are they wrestling for, who are they hired by, blah blah blah. If anyone is wondering that, I can go through elsewhere in the game. I kind of before the Scott Demore news, I kind of actually wanted to go through the NXT roster and do like a what if, like what if I decided to leave Impact and book NXT, what would I do with these people? But for the most part, especially with NXT's current roster, I don't know who half of them are anymore. Um, so, but I could still do that. Stuff like that. If anyone has an idea of, or like, hey, what's the status of this company? You know, who's on, you know, WWE's roster in this universe? Because like they rehired a lot of names that they let go of in real life, back at the beginning of 2022 or the end of 2021 or whatever last year. A lot of those names came back. Some new names, some have gone elsewhere. So, like I said, if you have any ideas of like little mini videos I could do regarding this game, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you when I see you. Again, thanks for all 20 of you, 20 or so of you who have stuck this out so far. Um, this is just kind of a bullshit hobby thing to keep myself occupied, and if anyone else enjoys this, that's cool too. So, thanks.